Hi, welcome to third grade at Prairieville Primary. I am Miss Nickens and I will be your child's ELA teacher. So, a little bit about me: I teach reading, writing, grammar, and spelling. I've been teaching for 16 years, 6 at PVP and 10 years at Forest Heights in East Baton Rouge Parish. I graduated in 2006 with a bachelor's degree in elementary education from LSU. I live in Prairieville with my husband Travis and my kids. My daughter Riley is 8 and she is also in third grade here at PVP. I have two stepchildren, Alyssa's 16 and a junior at Port Allen High School, and Austin's 20 and works for the Port of Port Allen. I was raised in Zachary, Louisiana, and I moved to Prairieville about 10 years ago. Feel free to contact me for anything you might need. There's my email address. These are a few pictures of my family and I. We like to travel, tailgate, and go to LSU football games, go to the beach, and we recently added two fur babies to our family. They are boxer puppies. Their names are Gracie and Gunner, and they just made 6 months old. These are my three kiddos. A little bit extra about my classroom. Two out of three of my classes are inclusion classes, and Miss Witcher, my co-teacher, will be in there. She is a special education teacher at PVP. She's great. The kids love her. So if they come home and talk about her, I just wanted you to be able to put a face with a name. Also, I am the yearbook editor. One of them, Miss Yarbrough, and I at PVP. So if you ever have any yearbook questions, you can feel free to email me as well. This is a breakdown of my classroom. I have 90 minutes with the kids each day. We spend the first 10 minutes doing warm-ups, which is a daily journal or a silent reading or skill lessons on IXL. We spend the next 20 minutes doing grammar, spelling, vocabulary, and then our biggest chunk of time is our guidebook lesson on reading or writing, which lasts around 60 minutes. Every day we have a school-wide intervention time from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Interventions are just mini lessons taught based on a skill the student may be struggling to master. We determine these intervention groups by two assessments. One is DIBELS, which is a screener used to check the levels and progress of students in reading. We do that 3 times a year. And then we also use DRA, which is a reading assessment given to students to obtain instructional independent reading levels. Students may go to a different teacher at this time. We make the groups based on their needs. So if they come home and say, oh, in the mornings I go to Miss Alvarez's class for interventions, just know they're going to be with other kids based on the specific skill they need to master next in order to improve their reading. Guided reading. When we do guided reading, each student is placed in a reading group based on their current level they're reading on within their classroom. Spelling and grammar. Spelling words are given each week on Monday, and we have the test on Friday, and students are tested on 6 words a week, and the tests are multiple choice. For grammar, each grammar skill is taught over about 2 weeks, and then we're tested on it. All spelling grades are averaged together to get 1 grade per quarter in writing, and all grammar grades are averaged together to get 1 grade per quarter in writing. As far as reading goes, we use the Louisiana State Department of Education Instructional Guide as our curriculum in ELA. The guidebook uses authentic text to teach students the skills they need to be successful third graders. It also prepares them for fourth grade. These are our units. We're currently in our first unit, Cajun Folktales. Around November, we'll start our second unit, The Stories Julian Tells. After Christmas, sometime in January, we'll start Unit 3, The Louisiana Purchase. And then towards the end of the year, we will do a little bit with Unit 4 because of Winn-Dixie. And it just depends how much we do, how much time we have, if time permits. You'll see a picture there from last year of some of my kiddos with one of my favorite projects I get to do with the kids every year. We'll actually do it in our first unit where we will write Trickster Tales, and we will become published authors, and the kids will write their own book. Each class will have their own book, And just look towards the end of October for me to send the sign up sheet home and the permission form where you can let them participate in it. And also, you will be allowed to purchase the book if you want to purchase the book. They usually come in before Christmas and they make great Christmas gifts. And the kids just love it. They love becoming published authors and having books with their names in them. Okay, we will do vocabulary. Students will be given 5 to 6 words at a time. These words will come directly from the text we are currently reading. The vocabulary words can be found in their binder in the vocabulary section or on the weekly newsletter. Quizzes will be every other week, and students will be asked to apply the vocabulary by using it in a sentence or choosing a sentence that uses the word correctly. Grades for reading: students will get 7 grades each quarter in reading. 1 grade will come from participation, which is in class, and reading log. Then 1 grade will be vocabulary quizzes averaged together. And then the other 5 will be assessments or tests. Reading logs are on students' Google Classroom, which I will talk about in a minute. Students will be expected to read at least 1 book a week on their own, but always encouraged to read more. And we'll continue to add to this as the list goes on. My kids also have access to my classroom library. It has tons of books, and they get to choose a book. They can take it home with them and read it. And every couple of days, they're allowed to switch. And we will also be going back to the school library this year. And then students also have an online version website that they can read on at school. So they have tons of ways to be adding to their reading log. Writing, as it pertains to responding to literature, is embedded in reading lessons. This year, we're going to focus on 3 types of writing: narrative, which we're currently focused on, literary analysis, and research simulation. For writing in grades each quarter, there will be a class participation grade, which is their daily journals, spelling tests, which are averaged together, grammar and conventions, which are averaged together, and then 4 writing assignments, which we grade with a rubric. Students are given ample support in the classroom with their writing, and we revise and edit our writing several times before we turn it in for grading. The kids' ELA binder on the back of your child's binder is an ELA guide, and it'll help you find anything you may be looking for. The sections are listed there. They have a label on each divider so you can find what you're looking for. All I ask is that if you take something out the binder, make sure you put it back in. We clean them out periodically at school, so if it's in there, it's still in there for a purpose, and we want to keep it in there until we're finished with it. Homework. Spelling words are given on Monday, and I just ask that the kids practice them throughout the week, and then on Friday's the test. Their reading log is on Google Classroom. It's due at the end of each quarter, so the first one will be due about the second week in October. We have weekly or bi-weekly reading homework that will come home, and students are asked usually to return it the day before a test, and we go over it in class. And when they return it, they get a treat or a reward. And the skills that are on each homework, they're the same skills that are going to be on the next test. So it's really important if they can do it, to do it and really focus when we go over it so that they're ready for those skills on that next test. Every so often, I will send home an extra assignment, and if returned, students receive an incentive. If you have not already, please join our Remind app, because I will send reminder texts about assignments and homeworks and tests coming up. Technology in my classroom. These are the sites we're going to start off using. Epic Books. Students can get on this and read. Tons of book choices. Only at school, though. Typing.com. Students learn correct keyboarding skills. We will use Freckle, which students will use to practice reading comprehension and skills through assignments. Quizlet will be a studying tool used for vocabulary. And then iExcel, we use lessons aligned to what we are learning in class. And we may add others as we continue on, but these are the ones we're going to start with. Book orders. I'll send home Scholastic book orders each month. Ordering is really easy. You can send a cash or a check made payable to Scholastic along with your order form back to school by the due date. Or you may order online using our parent code, which I'll send. Ordering online, it's the easiest way for you to order. It's also the easiest way for me to receive orders. This is a great opportunity to get your child excited about reading. And also, when you purchase books through this, it helps our classroom earn free books and materials at the same time. And this really helps me add to my classroom library. Okay, so Google Classroom, I mentioned this earlier. This is an online classroom tool that allows us to connect with each student through technology. It will be used in my classroom daily. You can log on at home. What you do is you go to Google and you sign into the student's account. Your student's email is their last name, lunch number, at students.apsb.org. They should know their password. It's a random word they were assigned. If they don't know it, look in their black folder. It should be taped to one of the pockets, their black communication folder. But once you're in their Google account, you go to the Google Classroom icon, which is found under the waffle, which is the square with a bunch of dots. And they should have a Google Classroom for each teacher. And if students log on at home, if they complete any type of work for me at home, just please make sure they are the ones completing the assignment. This can be a great tool for utilizing websites, looking at missed assignments if students are absent, or just for studying. This is my daily schedule. Students arrive and eat breakfast and do their warm ups. We have the 30-minute school wide intervention. I teach my first class. So if they're in my first block, they're done with me by 10:30. We move on to second block for about 20 minutes. We have lunch. Then we have PE or STEAM. We finish our second block. We move on to our third class at 1:30. During our third class, at the end of the day, we have recess. And then at 3:25, dismissal begins. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few things that are school wide. If you watch Miss Alvarez or Miss Yarbrough's videos, you will also see them talk about a few different things. We just kind of divided up. That way we weren't all speaking about the same thing. So I'm talking about arrival and departure. School begins at 8:25 and ends at 3:25. Try your very best to be here each day on time. If your child arrives at school later than 8:30, they must be checked in at the office and will be marked tardy for the day. Late buses are exceptions. If you need to check your child out early, they must be checked out at the office first, and then an announcement will be made for your child to report to the office. If your child is a car rider in the afternoon, please be certain to have your number hanger visible. If not, you will be required to park and come into the office to show identification in order for your child to be released to you. It is for their safety. Absences. It's very important that your child attends school in each and every day so they do not fall behind in classwork. However, we do understand that sometimes a child will miss school. If your child is absent, please send an excuse as soon as they return to school. Any missed classwork will be sent home upon your child's return to school for them to complete at home, unless you make a request to pick up work in the office on the day your child is absent. If so, please do this in the morning so that we have ample time to prepare their work for you to pick up. Students are allowed to have 10 unexcused absences. If they have more, they may be in jeopardy. Visitors. As of now, we can't have visitors on campus for lunch or volunteering, but when this changes, we will definitely notify you. Money. This year, everything's pretty much going to be paid through school cash online, which makes things super easy both ways. But however, if you are asked to send money to school, please send it in an envelope or Ziploc bag labeled with your child's name, grade level, and teacher. This helps just get it to where it needs to be. Okay, donations. We always need or seem to be running out of some of the supplies as the school year goes on. We all, I think most of us keep an Amazon list. I definitely have one for my classroom. This replaces supplies. I give out lots of candy. I have a huge treasure chest area. Anything cool I think would benefit my kids. If you feel led to give to my classroom or the students, please email me and I will send you the link. Thank you for supporting us. Once again, if you have questions, feel free to ask, email, or call the school. I'll be happy to address any questions or concerns you may have. Thank you for watching. Our year is off to a rockin' start.